Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So lately I've been playing a lot of the crew Motorfest, and honestly I've been finding myself playing it more and more. Now I don't necessarily know if it's because we're still in the honeymoon phase as the game just came out around a week ago, but so far I've seriously been enjoying Motorfest a lot. Now I gotta admit, when it comes to the crew series, I didn't play a whole lot of the crew 2 because the game launched with many missing features. The game had a very slow start, and by the time additional content started to pick up, it was already too late for me. Every now and then though, I would hop back on the crew 2, but to me, just some of the core mechanics I didn't enjoy. But with the crew Motorfest, many core elements in what makes a good open world racing game today, the developers over at Ivory Towers have done an excellent job. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my thoughts as to why the crew Motorfest stands out as an open world racing game. Starting off with number 1, map design and location. I have to say, choosing the island of Oahu was an excellent choice. Now I know that it's not an exact one-to-one replica of the actual island itself, but as a game, I think Motorfest has certainly nailed trying to keep every part of the map as fun and as engaging as possible. I don't think I've driven anywhere on the map thus far and have said to myself, this part of the map feels really boring. The map features all of the important things that make a good open world racing map, like a main city, different smaller towns, an extremely long motorway, twisty mountain roads overlooking a fantastic view, to beach sides with vibrant contrasts in colors from the land and ocean. I also love how the main Motorfest stage has been designed. It augments between a racetrack and the public roads, and the atmosphere here just feels incredibly lively and colorful, which I love. Another small detail that I would like to mention that perhaps also increases the feel of activity around the entire map is that on top of the traffic cars roaming around Oahu, there's also groups of AI cars roaming through the streets too. Now, they are ghosted, but it's cool to see other souped up cars blitzing through the same streets as yourself, on top of all the other real players that you are sharing the map with as well. Number 2, the playlists. So this was one of the new features that Motorfest introduced, and the way these playlists have been designed are incredibly engaging. In each playlist you get to experience a different group of cars, ranging from your JDM icons to Lamborghinis and everything in between. And seeing how these cars are celebrated in Motorfest actually made me appreciate not just the car more, but the game as well. Because in each of these playlists, real facts are given about the car we are currently driving, so by the time you complete an entire playlist, you come out learning something new. For example, with the Dream Car playlist presented by Supercar Blondie, I learned that the Mercedes-Benz EQ Silver Arrow, which I didn't even know existed in the first place, was designed to pay homage to the Mercedes-Benz W125 racing car, hence why many of its design cues resembles the old classic. And did you know the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 doesn't have a reverse gear? I didn't either, and all of this was learnt through by just playing the crew Motorfest. Now I know some of the criticisms about the playlist, and that is you are only allowed to use lone vehicles, which is not entirely true, as once you have completed the race, after you can redo the same race using whatever vehicle you desire. So yeah, overall, each playlist, along with the unique cutscenes, dialogues, and collaborations, have made me learn more about the cars featured in the crew Motorfest, as well as giving me an opportunity to try out some of these cars before buying them in the game. Number 3, different racing disciplines. Now this kind of ties in with the playlist that I was just talking about, but in the crew Motorfest, racing is more than just on-road and off-road racing. Now to me, my favorite playlist was the motorsport playlist, as there is a full-on racetrack on the bottom right of the map, and you can actually take racing cars around a specific layout with your tires losing grip as you go. You also have a race engineer telling you how you should approach the track, as well as when you should pit too. Now I know it's not like an actual full-on racing simulator, but it's cool to see that even real racing is being celebrated to a certain degree in the Crew Motorfest. Then there is also proper drag racing, along with a full-on drifting playlist where not only do you learn to drift in the game, but also take those skills out onto the mountain roads. Now there's also other playlists where you can explore the island, as well as navigating your way through different routes without the use of a GPS. There's just so many different ways to race and drive in this game that I haven't seen in any other open world racer. I really hope that in the future we do get to see more playlists, because to me this is by far one of the best and most enjoyable features Motorfest has introduced. Number 4, the diverse car list. Now, I'm aware that the total number of vehicles is just over 600. Most of them are indeed cars, while a handful of them are bikes as well as boats and planes. However, unlike the Crew 2, Motorfest has really focused more towards cars again, whereas the Crew 2, there was more of a mixture between different vehicles, which I'm certain some Crew fans are a little bit disappointed to hear, but as an open world racing game at its core, and essentially a title that wants to go up against other open world races, bringing Motorfest back to cars was most certainly the right decision. And speaking of cars, in my opinion, the Crew Motorfest has the best car lineup out of all the other open world races. Yes, I know that there are double ups of certain vehicles, some models have different editions, some even have different racing disciplines, but what I like about this is that the same car can have multiple different variants, each with their own characteristics that can't be replicated, and this gives me a reason to obtain all of these different car variants, and better yet, they all look unique. Looking back now, I do kind of wish maybe I played a little bit more of the Crew 2, just so I can collect some of those exclusive Summit cars to import over to Motorfest. Also, it's great to see how each car tier and class have quite a healthy amount of cars in them. You have your tier 1 and tier 2 street cars, hypercars, racing cars, and even off-road cars, which are classed in their own categories like rally raids, rally cars that either have their own standalone models as well as variants from the street car category that again can't be replicated. Now, I know for Crew 2 players, what I'm saying is nothing necessarily new, but for me, with the new physics model that Ivory Towers spent all this time completely reworking, it feels like we're completely rediscovering all of the cars in the series again. Number 5, car customizations. I don't know if this is just me, but when people talk about the Crew series, they don't often attach the series to car customizations. It's often something else, but I feel as though a good majority of open world racing fans have no idea how vast and wide the visual customizations are available for many cars in this series. Pretty much each street car, whether it's in tier 1 or tier 2, hypercars, all have a good amount of visual upgrades that you can equip. It doesn't matter if it's a Honda Civic Type R or a Lamborghini Veneno, they all have a very respectable range of individual visual customizations available. Now granted, any external parts you equip will not affect the performance of the vehicle in any matter, but with so many cars available in the game as well as different car customizations, it's almost impossible to see your car being accidentally replicated. Number 6, the custom car show. So another new feature that was introduced in Motorfest is the custom car show. Here you can actually register your own customized car depending on the theme on a weekly basis for it to be showcased on the showroom floor where players can vote for which car they think looks best. The more votes you obtain, the better rewards you will earn. Again, just another part of the Crew Motorfest that celebrates cars and more specifically the ownership of vehicles. Seeing so many different cars in the showroom with actual players walking around is pretty cool. It actually does feel like somewhat of a car meet for real, and it's an incredibly unique feature for an open world racing game today. So again, hats off to the developers over at Ivory Towers. Now, of course, I can talk about the improved car physics over from the Crew 2, as well as the proper cockpit wheel animation, which I think is the best in any open world racing game thus far. But of course, I have spoken about that previously when I played the beta. But anyways, for those that have played the Crew Motorfest, what have you guys enjoyed about the game thus far? Share us your comments down in the comment section below, as I do read all of your comments, guys. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy today's video or found it helpful, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button button as it really does help me out, and I will be doing more Crew Motorfest content over on my channel because I have been enjoying the game very much. So be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.